Do you ever feel like your worship of God is not good enough? Maybe you're a person like me who loves to sing in the shower, but when you're in front of other people, you don't feel as brave. Our worship team did a video of The Blessing, and it's that song by Carrie Job and Elevation Church that's gone popular, it's gone viral all over the world, and we did a rendition of that song with our own worship team, and it got picked up by Elevation Church, and this past weekend they played it at their services as a global choir with different video clips from different worship teams and people, and we were included in that video. And as I was watching it, looking at all their technology, I wondered if you're like me, and sometimes you sing and then you listen to Elevation Church and you go, man, I wonder if God feels this way about my worship, that it's really not that good. You know, when I sing, I hope that it's genuine and I hope God's blessed by that, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Well, I want to encourage you with something today. In Joshua chapter 8, following the battle of Ai, remember when there was that one person who hid something in the camp, and because of that, they lost the first battle to the people of Ai? Well, Joshua had, after they had rid the camp of all the sin, had brought the people to have this victory against Ai once more. And after that was over, God instructed them to worship them. And they built an altar, but they did it according to the law of Moses, which means they were to build an altar on which was made of whole stones with no iron tool wielded on it. Now, what does that mean? Well, here's the thing. What is an altar? An altar is something that you place a sacrifice on, right? So if they're sacrificing a lamb, they just have this table out, and the temptation was to beautify the altar, to engineer, to make it fancy. But an altar is simply a vehicle of worship. If the sacrifice is what matters, let's not make the focus on the altar. So many of us, what that looks like for us is that we start looking at the worship team, we look at the technology, we're streaming on YouTube, and myself, I'm a preacher, I'm looking at everybody else's cameras and everybody else's editing, and I just wonder if maybe we've lost the point. We've put our focus on the vehicle and means of worship rather than the act of worship itself. So be encouraged today that if you're worshiping God in spirit and in truth, that's simply what He's looking for. He's not looking for you to have the most expensive technology, the most beautiful voice, to have pitch correction. What He's looking for is that genuine broken heart that comes before Him and says, listen, I didn't even take an iron tool. I didn't do anything. You can know that when you are in your car worshiping God, your worship can be just as powerful as the greatest worship team on earth, singing praises unto God. And let me just close by reminding you of this. Wasn't it true that the focus of the ultimate sacrifice, the cross, wasn't on the altar, it was on the subject and the sacrifice, Jesus Christ. Let's remember that today. Your worship matters, especially when you focus on the sacrifice and not on the altar.